Hello friends. Happy Saturday. Another bonus video for this week. Wow, I'm on a roll. I can tell you there will be no video tomorrow, though. I do not record on Sundays. Unless I'm on vacation and it is something I absolutely want to share, I will not record on a Sunday. That's just my thing. Yeah. Oh boy, do I have stories to tell. So as you know from last night's video, I was working on the duck, which I did finish. I did finish one panel. So that's what the one panel looks like, right? I started on the second panel. I got like 3 rows into it. And my power went out. I kid you not. I'm sitting here crocheting, watching my YouTube videos, and the power went out. It's about 11 o'clock. I was like, oh, yeah, no big deal. It'll come back. No. It was nearly midnight. Sorry, I have... Say hi, Noir. Okay. Ow, your claws hurt. Anyways, so that was 11 o'clock. I was like, okay, well, power's out. Sure, I'll go to bed. Well, then my little buddy woke up. And I was actually prepared for a power outage this time because, well, you can't see it, but back here on my bookshelf, I have little flashlights. Hold on, I'll grab one. Okay, so I have several of these little flashlights. These are Ozark Trail flashlights that I bought at Walmart. They're like $2 or $3 a piece. I bought, I think 4 or 5 of them back in November, if you remember, during the mountain fire. Just in case our power went out, because we are on a grid that is notorious for going out for fire prevention during that time of the year. So I had these, plus I had 2 battery-powered candles, fully loaded with batteries, ready to go. So I was prepared for that outage. However, I had just gone to Costco yesterday. Remember me telling you that in that video? So I'm Googling USDA, and I couldn't remember if it was 4 or 6 hours. It's 4 hours that after 4 hours, you got to throw away all dairy, eggs, meat, that kind of thing, out of your refrigerator if your power is out for 4 or more hours. Well, midnight comes around, and finally the power came back on, right? And I was like, okay, got him all tucked back into bed. I went to bed. My son went back to his room because we literally just kind of had a little party out here in the back area. And then I had just fallen asleep, and my son comes back in to get me, and he's like, Mom, I hate to wake you, but the power's out again. It's like, of course. And I had reported the first one, which I don't know what good it does when it was a citywide outage. I don't know. Well, this side of the tracks, so our side. I don't know why. And I just realized one of my darning needles is missing.
I have it.
Okay, anyways, my good one is missing.
I have it.
So anyways.
I have it.
Here, let me see that one because these ones are... He's like a cat. He takes everything. Anyways, okay, so the power outage. So I come out here, and I had emails from our power company saying power was restored, blah, blah, blah. There was still no power outages showing in the area, but it was completely black throughout our entire area. I mean, you couldn't see down the block if you tried. So I started to put in another work order, or not work order, but outage thingy. And 15 minutes later, the power comes back on. And my son was patiently waiting for his late night snack of his bowl of cereal. And he's like, do you think it's safe to open the refrigerator, Mom? I'm like, just give it a few minutes in case it's playing tricks on us again. So, 2 power outages last night, both of which it totaled maybe about an hour and a half. So, nothing to worry about, but it was just a little bit of an inconvenience when you got projects you need to crochet and you can't crochet in the dark, and crocheting under flashlight and battery powered candles is not easy. So that's where last night went. So no more reading last night, very little crochet. So today it is just me and my little buddy, and we're gonna go recycle the bottles, but then I remembered I cannot do that alone with him because it's a big sensory overload for him because of all the noise that's there. So I was like, okay, we're not going to do that. I said, how about we just go to Michael's? Because Michael's has got big sales right now and clearance, and I had a reward certificate again. So I was like, let's just go to Michael's. I did have a budget. I pretty much stuck to it. So, for starters, my little buddy wants you to see his newest little collection. This one's name is Ramsey, and it's a lion with wild hair. Yeah. Even the tail's got wild hair. Look at that, though. It's all colorful. So that's his newest little addition. And I'll show you the rest of what I got. Okay, let's do this one last. So I finally got the painterly cakes I have been wanting. The cotton painterly cakes by Karen. It says they're a limited time only, and I've been looking at these and eyeing them and feeling them every time I go in. And so I finally got 2 of them. So there's the colors. So this is color Coral Cascade. And it recommends a US 4.5 millimeter hook is what's recommended for this. Nope, that's for the tank top. Let me get back to the right specs. I was looking at the pattern. 5 millimeter crochet hook, 4.5 millimeter knitting needle is the recommended. Medium 4, machine wash and dryable. 60% acrylic and 60% cotton and 40% acrylic. I'm telling you, my lack of sleep last night is just, my brain's all over the place. And they are 8 ounces, 481 yards. So I picked up just 2 of them because that's more than enough to make a little shawl or something like that. So 2 of the painterly cakes. Finally got my hands on a couple. So there is that. And then one of the big reasons we went back to Michael's was because, oh geez, it's going off. Hold on. This one's very, very sensitive as far as the where's your other caterpillar? Let me see that one. This one just keeps wanting to flash itself. Okay, so if you remember in one of my last videos, I showed you this caterpillar that we bought at Michael's a couple of weeks ago. And he loves these. These are such a good sensory toy for him, squishy toy. That I wanted to go back and get more if they had them, because they are only $3.99, and they are right on the tag. It says sensory toy, and I'm doing it very carefully because this one's very sensitive. However, they only had this one left, but we got it, and you're gonna have to be careful with this one. This one's a little bit. I might need to put some glue on this one. Excuse you. Okay, I'm going to have to put a little bit of glue on this one because it looks like it's coming unglued a little bit. So that's okay. I've got some glue I can put on there. Hold on to that carefully. That one's a little bit more delicate than your other one. So they only had the one. We just got the one. And then I found a cutting die from Recollections. That is a butterfly. And this will make a beautiful Mother's Day card for my mom. My mom loves butterflies. And then they had these pads of paper for $5. They had different ones, and this one jumped out at me right away. And as you can see, it's nice and springy and all that. I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but let's see if we can. That's really hard. Okay, there we go. Look at the paper. You're not seeing every one of them just because this is really hard to. It's still taped shut. That one. Where did it go? This one. I really like this one. It's like little postage stamps. So there's that I got. And the last thing I got was this scratch art paper pad. 6 sheets, 9" by 12". So you get 6 scratch art papers and the tool and the brush. So I picked out the floral one. And that's the 6 designs that are in there. I figured that would be really pretty for spring. These were regular $9.99 at my Michael's. On clearance, marked down to $3. Yes, please. I haven't done scratch art in a while. I do like to do scratch art. However, you got to be really careful because it's a messy process. So, yeah. So that is my Michael's haul. That is my crazy Friday night going into Saturday. Yeah. So tell me in the comments down below, friends, what are you doing this weekend? Anything fun? Are you staying home and just crocheting, crafting? Tell me in the comments down below. But anyways, all right, I think I'm going to go. I'm going to get some crocheting done before everybody gets home between like 4 and 6 o'clock and it starts getting crazy. So, all right, friends, I love you all. God loves you. Be kind to one another, and I'll see you in the next video next week. Bye, friends.